Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Welcome to another Read With Me session. I'm yours truly. I'm Isabel Bedell, and I'm here to read with you once again this amazing book that we've decided to choose for the month of May. In other words, Money May is ridiculously good. Okay. Big money energy. What a perfect title for the month of May. And if you have not checked out chapters 1 through 2, and the preface and the introduction, make sure to do so. They're going to be linked above. We're going to start chapter 3, and it's titled Amateur Hour is Over. And I am so excited to dig into this chapter because I've actually already read it. Like, I love this book. And this is actually the first time where it's like, oh, let me actually read ahead of time before I actually sit down and read to you guys. Because I really love this book. I really enjoy it. I feel like it's a great book to just, listen to on a daily basis or on the go or even while you're on the treadmill. Let's be honest. Okay. So without further ado, chapter 3 is split into 2 parts. So this is going to be chapter 3, part 1. It's called Amateur Hour is Over. Okay. And if you believe that amateur hour is over for you, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe, make sure to share this with someone that you know maybe they need that wake-up call. Maybe they need somebody to ignite that fire within and remind them that they're awesome. Maybe that's you. So go ahead, do that for that person. Sharing is caring, and we love to do that here at Billionaire. So, all right, let's get into it, shall we? All right, chapter 3, Amateur Hour is Over. He starts off with the actual email. It's like, to Ryan at ryanserhant.com, and then from big time casting director. And then the email that he received goes like this. Hi, Ryan. I'm a big fan of MD, Million Dollar List in New York. I'm casting a new movie with Ben Stiller, Naomi Watts, Adam Driver, and Amanda Seyfried, directed by Noah Waumbach. And I was wondering if you wanted to audition for the role of Hedge Fund Dave. I think you'd be great in this role. So let me know. And his name is Doug. He signs off. And then he goes into, it had been 4 years since I had kissed my acting career goodbye and settled into my role as a broker. So I deleted that email right after I read it. Acting was dead to me. Sure, I'd like to audition for your movie. I'd also like to have the power of invisibility. And you know what else would be great? If I could fly. I have spent years of my life trying to get in front of big name directors like Noah Waumbach and failing. The email had to be a joke. I pushed it out of my mind and got back to work. A couple of weeks later, I came across another message when I was doing my 4:45 a.m. pre-gym email check. And it was another email from the same guy, the big time casting director. And it read, hey, Ryan, just wondering if you thought about the audition. I think you'd be great as Head Fund Dave. Let me know if you have any questions. I've attached the pages from the script that feature the character you'd be auditioning for. Wait, maybe this was real. Would anyone actually write a script as part of a joke? That would be taking things really far. I quickly skimmed through the pages. It was good and funny. Apparently, Head Fund Dave takes a meeting with Josh, which is going to be Ben Stiller's character, to hear his pitch about why he should invest in the world's longest, most boring documentary. Hedge Fund Dave's lines were dry and sarcastic. He was just like me. But too bad, because I had given up on acting forever. Apparently, hope springs eternal, because there was a little voice in my head that would not shut up. You know you want to audition, Ryan. A real director approaches and you think you can just walk away? It's not like the last time. You can easily afford groceries now. You won't starve to death if you don't land the role. The annoying voice in my head was right. I had to give this a shot. I responded to the email saying I'd love to be considered. What a cool opportunity. The day of the audition, I headed to the address in the East Village I had been given. When I opened the door, it was like I was having a bad flashback. I had walked right into the scene from my failed acting career. Walls to wall actors, mostly dressed in jeans and t-shirts, all desperate to land a role. Everyone was reading scripts, and some of them were pacing back and forth, reciting their lines. A couple of guys were fake sparring, and one was staring at the wall while he repeated the warm up, unique New York, over and over and over again. These people are intense. I swear, the walls were actually pulsating with all of the nervous energy. It's an audition. It's not like we have to improvise open heart surgery. It was a relief to see that for once, I wasn't the only one that was nervous. I wasn't the only nervous guy doing the small, big face warm up I learned in acting school, which always makes me look crazy. This time, I was the guy in the suit who had an open house later that afternoon that I had to prepare for because I had a real job now, bitches. I stepped over a guy who was meditating in the lotus position on the floor and sat down in an empty chair. The ultra jumpy wannabe actors could do their thing, but I needed to check my emails. A solid offer on the 2-bedroom in Chelsea had come in. I bet I can get that buyer to raise that offer. I returned the email asking for a counter and had just finished answering the rest of my emails when I heard, Ryan Serhant, we are ready for you. As I walked out of the waiting area, I quickly glanced at the time. I had been waiting so long that my open house uptown was starting in just 20 minutes. I needed to get out of there. I needed to get out of here quickly. And now I was just annoyed. I had even agreed to this stupid audition that wouldn't even lead to anything anyways. I was led into a small room for the audition. The casting director explained that she would be reading Ben Stiller's lines. Okay, great, let's do this, I thought. We launch into the scene. I'm doing my lines and it's going well. I'm glad to hear a few laughs from the producers who are sitting in the room. Wow, this is fun. I've never actually enjoyed an audition before. Usually I was worried about everyone and how they could see my heart pounding through my shirt. We finished the scene and the casting director thanked me for my time. I hustled myself past all the hungry looking actors, literally hungry. Someone should actually feed these guys, and practically threw myself in front of the first available taxi that I saw. On the ride uptown, I checked my messages, and yes, I made it to the open house on time, a Manhattan traffic miracle. It was a win-win kind of day. The next day, I got an unexpected call at the office from the casting director. Hi, that was the best audition we saw all day. We want you to audition with Ben. Whoa, wait, like Ben Stiller for real? The one time I don't care about getting the role, the one time I'm not practically chewing on the furniture waiting to see if I get a call back. This is the one time that it actually works. A few days later, I was scheduled to meet with Ben Stiller and Noah Wambach at a studio on 36th Street. The space was almost like a WeWork for actors. There are studios rented out for the auditions and rehearsals. I get up to the designated floor and I realize, wait a minute. I think I've been here before. That's right. Yes. This is the exact same place where we had our weekly story meetings with the producers of Million Dollar Listing during the season 1. For a quick second, I'm reminded of how far I've come since the show actually started. Million Dollar Listing was like the proverbial gun to the head. I went from hanging on by my teeth, hoping the producers would kick me off, and now I'm here to do a scene with Ben Stiller. What a crazy coincidence. At that moment, one of my assistants calls me into the room. I walk in and sitting in front of me is Noah Wambach, director and Zoolander himself. I freeze. Everyone is staring at me, and then I just blurt out, "Hi, I have been in this room before." Both of them just look at me. Then Noah says, "Oh." I couldn't get over the fact that I was about to meet Ben effin Stiller in the real estate reality TV producer's office. Like, what is life, honestly? But this time, I'm not just not a wretched wannabe actor who would give two kidneys to get an audition like this. I was invited to be here. And when I'm done, I'm going to walk out of this room and head downtown to pick up a six-figure commission check. I felt super energized. Ben Stiller, are you ready for this? Ben says, "Hey, are you ready to do this?" "Yeah, I am." And I play it like I already have the role. We're doing the scene, and then Ben Stiller actually starts laughing. I made Zoolander laugh. We even had to do the scene over because of it. It was great. The next day, I am standing in a $20 million penthouse apartment on 11th Avenue when its own car elevator when I get a call from Doug, the casting director. "Hey, Ryan, we want to offer you the role." After all those failed attempts, I was going to get to see my name on a movie screen. All I had to do was give up on acting and get into real estate. Wow. So here's a point. Get over yourself. It's not like I magically became a better actor the day that I auditioned with Ben, but I had become a different person since my last foray into the acting world. I used to be just like those other actors, frantically studying their lines, hands shaking from nerves. I basically walk into an audition with my guts laid out before me. "Hire me, please pick me, over here, me. My nervous energy easily overshadowed any talent that I actually had to offer. I was a little puppy nipping at people's heels for attention. And people don't want to do business or work with or make movies with puppies. Puppies jump out, and down pleading for treats. Puppies beg for someone to just toss them a stupid ball. Puppies are small and can't manage their frantic energy. Puppies will pee on your stuff. Now, for contrast, let's turn the conversation to the magnificent lupus, otherwise known as the wolf. Wolves have control. Wolves don't need to be petted to know they're awesome. And you certainly don't tell a wolf to go fetch. Wolves don't F around. If a wolf is hungry, he just sniffs in the air, zooms in on his prey, and goes and gets what he wants. Old Ryan would go into auditions with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Bills, rent, no furniture, groceries. I had no focus. That is what amateurs do. Did the people who land the roles, I wanted have fears about bills and money? Maybe, probably. Some of them might have, but they knew how to put their fears aside and come off like total pros. They only have $13 left in their bank account. Doesn't matter. The problem isn't going to cloud their audition. Pros can rise above. Pros know that if they want something badly enough, they need to be wolves, sniffing out their next big kill. And guess what? Their bank balance will still have that shitty $13 after they slay that day or not. Here's code number 4. Don't be afraid to fail. Your life's worth isn't determined by a single moment. That's strong. That is so strong. Your life's worth isn't determined by a single moment. I certainly didn't wake up one morning and see a great big ferocious wolf staring at me in the mirror. This wasn't an overnight transformation. Early in my career, it was amateur hour all the time. Every job was life or death. Every rejection pummeled my self-worth. Show me you love me. Would someone just throw me a ball? But somewhere during my journey, I managed to shed my amateur behaviors just like a dirty jacket. Along the way, I discovered that At any different point in my life, a few common insecurities were holding me back. They ate up my positive energy and made me feel small and incapable. If you want to speed up your transformation from amateur to pro, if you want to be bigger, you need to eliminate the following amateurish behaviors from your life immediately. He's going to share a few, okay? And I freaking love this because a lot of us play this game. He starts off with saying, stop playing the blame game. This is a very, very dangerous game. I should know because I played it for years. The rules of this game are simple. The problem is never you. Someone or something is always at fault. There is a concrete reason, totally out of your control, for every problem, loss, and disappointment in your life. Sound familiar? It could be your circumstances. It could be what you don't have, whether it's money, connections, time, looks. It could be a boss or a colleague who is hating on you. And if Mercury retrograde is in motion, and when isn't it, you can score a 10 bonus blame point because you use that as an excuse. Common phrases uttered during the blame game include, I would if, except that, but if only, and someday. If you are into playing this game, ask yourself seriously, what are you getting out of it? You must hold yourself accountable for where you are in life. It's certainly easier for everything that's wrong with your life to be someone else's fault, because that means you don't have any work to do. But spoiler alert, no one ever wins this stupid game. Throw it out and be accountable for your actions because you deserve to live out of your awesome potential. The next time things don't go your way, be brutally honest with yourself. Force yourself to write down 3 things you could have done to get a different outcome. The next time you give that group presentation, record yourself first. This way, you're more prepared. Are you coming off as powerful and confident, or are you speaking clearly? Watching yourself will help you get the results that you want. Blaming Tammy for farting loudly during your presentation won't. Practice until you come off like the pro that you are. In the end, it's always the amateurs who sit on the sidelines while the pros get to play. The pros are the ones that play. Here's another one. Manage your work PTSD. This is a good one. This is a really good one. Okay. Just a few months ago, my wife, Amelia, and I were able to take a long solo weekend away on a tropical island. If you have kids, you know what a huge gift it is to be able to turn your baby over to a loving grandparent and get away. We are eternally grateful. Yeah. By the way, when I was lying on the beach, I thought, this is so pretty. I should post a picture on Instagram. And after I posted the picture, I lay back down, enjoying the warmth of the Caribbean sun on my face. I was wondering if I had applied an adequate amount of sunscreen when I heard the ping. It was a text message. I took a peek and saw that it was from a developer I work with. Hi, I see that you're away this weekend. I suddenly felt the blood drain from my face. Oh my God, Ryan, you've really done it now. Like, what were you thinking posting that picture? You're going to get fired. Wow, on vacation. Way to go, buddy. That's what I was thinking. Okay, wait. So maybe tell him that the picture's from last year, but that would be a lie. So, and you're not a liar, so don't do that. I sat up and looked around at the beautiful beach. So what if on vacation? What if I am on vacation? I needed to get a grip. I am a grown man. I thought in charge of my own life. I have a great team who is hard at work back in the city, taking care of this client's listings. I shouldn't be afraid of him thinking, oh, look, Ryan's gallivanting around in an island. Clearly, he doesn't care about me or my apartments. Ryan sucks. He's fired. I genuinely, truly believed my business could fall apart if I admitted that I occasionally took time away from work to relax. No listings were being hurt while I sat here baking on the beach. Of course, I could take a weekend off, I wrote back. So I wrote back to him and I said, yep, away with my wife this weekend and we're having a great time. Hope you're well. I swallowed hard when I hit send. I immediately saw text bubbles. Text bubbles? I was being taunted by text bubbles. Just as I was about to get up and throw myself into the ocean, he responded back. Looks really cool. You totally deserve it. I might have made it to the #1 slot several years in a row. I was literally the #1 broker in the world. But I think most of us still have work PTSD when our worst moments haunt us. The time when someone said something so small but so deeply terrible that it's been with you for 15 years. The "you're not good enough" meant you're not worthy. The moment comes back to you so often that you feel a constant need to overcompensate for it, hence murdering that person's remark over and over again. It's easier to remember those gut-wrenching moments than it is to recall the countless days at work that went just fine, or the tons of bucket load of compliments you received for your work after the brief but harrowing moment at the beach. I vowed to identify these PTSD moments as they appear so I can squash them before they take over. When that horrible sense of work-related panic hits you, ask yourself, is this real? Own it, correct it, and move on. Or is this not real? You could be freaking out because this has all the too familiar feel of something shitty that went down in your past work experience. This is what really happened. Okay, a few years ago, I had gotten fired from a job on the day of my wedding, and I was on an island. Doesn't that suck? It's no wonder that I freaked out on that beach. When I read the text from the developer that just simply said, I see that you're away this weekend, I initially read it as something like this. Why are you so terrible at your job? I can't believe that I ever trusted you, you lazy wannabe piece of trash, and I hope you get stung repeatedly by a swarm of sworn giant jellyfishes. Going forward, I had to learn to deal with my PTSD by asking myself, am I reading attitude into this that doesn't actually exist? Just because I interpreted that text to be a jab at my work ethic doesn't mean it was. I was having work PTSD hot flash. Train yourself on how to handle your PTSD. You need to determine if you are letting something from your past infect your present. Some of you are walking around with some deep-rooted PTSD issues on a daily basis. Some of your staff may be on the receiving end of that. So identify those triggers ASAP. I had to understand first that even if I didn't have a team to handle my clients' listing that weekend, I would have still deserved a weekend off. No one owns my time but me. I also have to tell myself on a daily basis that there will always be some people who cannot be pleased. Work 24/7, go above and beyond, constantly deliver fantastic results, offer your firstborn child, and they're still unhappy. If your PTSD is tied to human reactions that have upended your livelihood, the solution here is to simply say in your mind, please, FTG. FTG means F that guy. If you're having a PTSD moment, FTG can be a very eloquent resolving solution. You have to let it go and quickly. You have to learn to let any negativity roll off your back. If it's a situation that drives you crazy, it's FTS. F that situation. FTG or FTS are instant healing mechanisms. Try them at your own risk. And then he goes into identifying some workplace triggers, such as getting fired, overlooked for a promotion, a coworker getting promoted when you actually wanted to, shot down or criticized at a meeting for an idea no one liked, having a horrible boss, missed the deadline and the project tanked, watched your boss take credit for all your hard work, got left get left out of an email chain, out of a new project, crazy and impossible clients, you weren't invited to an after work cocktails with your coworkers, the terrible typo that you made, you look so stupid, like public, and then you actually wrote pubic. They're so close, you're just missing the L. Or that time that you replied all on an email and you actually said, no way would I go to the staff holiday party because most of those people I work with are so boring. If you've been on that situation, workplace triggers come in many forms and they are the worst. Triggers can make your palms sweat, your stomach turn, your throat dry, and worst of all, they can make you doubt your own ability. Learn what your workplace triggers are so you can identify and slay these beasts every time they rear their ugly heads. That concludes chapter 3, part 1 of this book. I'm so excited to dive into the second part of this because he's about to get into some really, really great things that I promise you, it'll make you laugh, it'll make you think, and most importantly, it'll bring you back to the truth that you are amazing, that you have big money energy, okay? Talk to you soon.